Hi everybody, Anne here from the Schools Liaison team in LIT, and welcome to the latest in our LIT chat series, where today we're chatting about all things creative broadcast and film production. And this course is offered at level 8 and also at level 7 at our Moylish campus in Limerick. And I'm delighted to be joined today by my colleague Nora Ní Fhlartharta, who heads up these courses in LIT. So hi Nora, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good, good. Thank you so much for joining us and coming on board to have a chat with us today. So I suppose just to kick off the chat, could you maybe tell us a little bit about the creative broadcast course in LIT? Maybe what kind of student would be suited to it, and are there any particular skills that a student needs to have before they come into the course in LIT?
Sure, thanks, Anne. It's great to chat. I suppose the majority of our students, they come from a variety of different creative backgrounds. But I suppose the main focus that many of them would have, the majority would have, is that they love telling stories. And we are very much a practically based, film production unit here in Moylish. So it would be storytelling across many different genres and formats. From your traditional film to animation and rotoscoping, and then also radio plays a big part with us as well, as we have our own in-house radio station, which is Wired FM, which I would encourage everybody to check it out. It'd be from quite a diverse, but always, I suppose, from a creative background with a look to actually telling stories and telling their story and learning the creative and the technical aspects of being able to tell a story. I suppose, which kind of sums up filmmaking in its primary form. We have a series of streams that we have focused the whole program on. First, we have the production, which is the visuals, how to shoot elements. Then we have post production, how to edit what you've shot. So these would be streams that run across all 4 years of the course, and there'll be different modules that will cover different elements. We start off very basic, and then we get up into more detailed as time goes on. Then we have audio, of course, because you can't have visuals without the audio, and that's a primary part of what we cover as well. We're very lucky, I suppose, in the lecturing staff that we have on board. They're practitioners themselves, so they are filmmakers. They're music makers, and they bring that passion and that joy into their lecturing, which is great. Then we also, another large part of the program stream would be the narrative. So basically storytelling, how to put a story together. So all of these different elements are really important, I suppose, and we like to, infuse this in all of the different streams that we cover across. The other one would be frame, which is cinematography and lighting. So again, it's not just about telling the story, but how you frame the story, both technically and also as part of the narrative as well. And then also a big part of what we do from year one right up to year four is professional development. Basically prepping the students to for employment once they graduate. And we are again very lucky. We work very hard in this regard. We have a work experience module in year 3. But even before that, students have been, we make a lot of connections with different industry, and even the marketing department here in LIT, students will work on board with real life projects. So we're lucky, I suppose. If students want to find out about our graduates and where they go, I would just advise them to put in the title of the course and click LinkedIn, and they'll see the list of graduates and where they're currently working. So we're very fortunate that we prep our students very well for employment, and we've been very successful in that regard.
Fantastic. And the fact that they start at the basics, as you say, and work the whole way through building their skills the whole way up along to, like a film, the finished product at the very end. And you touched on it there about the practical side of things. And obviously that's something that's really important to us in LIT, and it's central to every course that we offer, that strong emphasis on learning by doing. And I suppose that's really evident in courses like the creative broadcast, and you touched on the work experience. Could you give us maybe a little bit of information on the likes of the industry competitions that students can get involved in, the events? I know Your students have been super in helping us on the marketing team this year with various projects as well. So it's great that they can put the theory into practice during their time on the course. So could you maybe take us through a little bit more of what students get a chance to get involved in while they're studying?
Well, while they're studying, I suppose the great thing about being connected with Wired FM is that many of the first years they sign up for the production roles in Wired FM, and then they're able to, from there, they're very well directed by Ray Burke, who is a fantastic radio manager, and so he literally walks them through the whole process of producing their own radio shows. And many of these radio shows have gone on to win national awards. So again, it's a great start in production and putting a story together. Other awards that the students have won over the years are the SMEDIAs. Also, we submit to the Smarter Travel Transport Awards every year, and our students are always shortlisted, and we've been really successful in that particular competition. The other one that we host ourselves here in LIT is the UNIX, which is the European Union of National Cultures, and they run a film festival every year. And we're lucky enough that we host it since last year, and we'll be hosting it again this year. And we always choose one film from a student who was shortlisted for that, and she has been selected onto that award, and so her film will be shown at the IFI, Cork International Film Festival, and the Palace in Galway, and also internationally then across the different institutes of culture in Europe. So we always, and again, one of our big partners, I suppose, would be the Richard Harris International Film Festival. So students will work on that festival as well, and they also showcase a lot of our student films there as well. So we're very active in encouraging students to apply for these awards, and they have been very successful over the last few years. We also have again, to promote the work of the students, we have a very active social media campaigns as well that we run over Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you wanted to find out more about us, our handle is @CreativeTechLIT. We're very easy to find. We also have an extensive Eventbrite site. It's another one to have a look at if you want to find out a little bit more about the programme and what we do and what we get up to. We have a series of industry specialists and specialist focus groups that come in, and a series of panels, and they're always advertised on our Eventbrite site, which you can find very easily by just typing in the name Creative Tech LIT Eventbrite, and you'll see the list of our visiting lecturers, which would be highly skilled professionals that offer master classes for our students, and also one-to-one sessions with them where they can give direct feedback on their projects. Now that usually happens towards the final year project phase, but for the other sessions then, like the Foley sound artists and things like that, we always open that up for all students and also the wider public. So we have other programs from LSAD coming into our professional master classes as well. We also work extensively with Screen Skills Ireland, and we have just very tight links there, which is great. It means that I get the emails about work that's coming out that's not going to be publicised, so I get the inside lead on some of them that I can send out to graduates. So we have very tight industry links, mostly because a lot of our graduates, they will be working locally in different businesses, and we like to keep in touch. So yeah, we've very strong links to industry, awards and different exhibits that are happening. So we like to keep close contact with students.
Good stuff, and that's fantastic because it really gives students a chance to, I suppose, build up a portfolio of work while they're on the course as well, so that when they get to that stage when they're finishing up the course, they have enough done that they can put themselves in the shop window as to showing what they have worked on and what they're capable of doing and capable of producing. So maybe for a student who's interested, if radio is what appeals to them, getting a chance to be part of, as you say, Wired FM, a real live radio station, whether you want to get into the presenting role or behind the scenes, that is such fantastic experience that students can avail of as well. And you mentioned working with the other, bringing in other groups to the masterclass as well. And I know within the Department of Digital Arts in LIT, there's also our course in music technology and production. So would there be opportunities for the students then from time to time to work on projects then together as well?
Absolutely. We have a lot of integrated projects that we work with music technology. And it's great that we're in the same house, because we're in Moylish campus. And music and film, they just go hand in hand. So it's just brilliant to see the students working together. They work on a lot of projects together, assigned assignments and outside of assignments as well. They just work on projects together because they're hanging around in the same spot all the time. So the music and film students will be very, very closely connected. They complete the Smarter Travel assignment together. That's an integrated project. But also as well in year 3, there are a series of music videos that the students create, and that's done directly with music technology as well. But even before that, in year 1 and year 2, all of these master classes, the students are always integrated together, with them. And it also happens naturally outside of the classroom. We kind of like set it up to happen that the music students work with the film students, but they just, they get on it, they work with. So, and I know the music students love working on the films, and the film students love having, original music
Yeah.
for their short pieces. It's a really good relationship.
So they learn from each other,
Yes.
in many ways, and that, I suppose, it reinforces as well that lovely community feel and that community vibe that exists in LIT. That it's a very supportive environment, as well as being a very creative space, as you mentioned as well. But that students are part of a community, and I think that's something that's very important to us in LIT, and one of the reasons why students don't get lost, when they come to us, because they are very much part of that tight knit community. So as students move through the course, they move through the level 7 or level 8. Would students doing the level 7, would most of them continue on to the level 8? How do you find it?
Yeah, they would. It happens automatically. You don't have to reapply. It's just a natural transition. When you finish year 3, that you're automatically, assigned into year 4. So it's never an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
But we don't really look at students whether they're on a level 7, level 8. We just look at our student cohort. I suppose
exactly.
most lecturers wouldn't even know whether a student is a level 7 or a level 8. It doesn't matter to us.
Yeah, and it's just where you decide you want to jump off the ladder, whether you want to go out into the world of work that little bit faster, depending on your circumstances, or if you want to stay on and do the level 8. So when it comes then to job opportunities, and I know the Midwest has really exploded over the last few years as a real creative hub. I mean, there's companies like Troy Studios and some of the others that you've mentioned, the film festivals in the region as well. What sort of job opportunities then are there for students to look at when they finish their studies with us in LIT?
Yeah, I always find it funny, like when they come in first year, sometimes they have um, very much a tunnel vision of exactly what they want to do. Like, I want to be an editor, or I want to be a camera person, and then by the time they get into year 3 and they've had a chance to actually explore all the different areas in a production environment. Um, they oftentimes, they're a lot more versatile in exactly the area that they want to go into. So I suppose one of our big partners would be, yes, Troy Studios. Would be, a lot of our graduates would go into the different productions that are there. Another one would be Ross Roon. That's based in Galway, but we have very close connections with their, production manager, and she was actually, she helped develop some of our programming. So she's actually she's our external panelist. So yeah, a lot of our students would go there as well to gain their work experience, and it's a great opportunity to just develop your career. There's also a series of production companies in Limerick, Crude Media, Pecan, I could list them. There's so many of them that are that hire our graduates as well. Many graduates will go abroad. Many go up to Dublin, but I think the industry is growing so much here in the Midwest that more and more can actually remain local and build it further, build the film production further. The other thing as well is we're perfectly situated to, a lot of our graduates would get employment with production companies that are part of the RAP funding scheme, and that would be based in County Clare. So Treasure Productions, for instance, who are currently filming Smother, which is on RT at the moment. We've had obviously graduates that are just taken in there. There's another company again, Magpie 6, they're based in Ennis, and they've hired more graduates there as well. And again, that would be part of the RAP funding. So LIT are perfectly placed to actually, connect our graduates to these companies, because it's, again, we're part of the Western corridor there that actually gets this additional financial assistance from the Irish government. So that's why it's a great location. We're very well placed to position our graduates in these companies, and we've been very lucky, but we do work hard to make those connections.
Absolutely, and I'd say that our staff all have so many industry connections, or have come in having worked in the industry themselves as well. And it's such a fast-paced and dynamic industry, and it's changing so fast and so rapidly. It's great to see that Ireland is playing its part. That even though we're a small country, within that creative space, we very much punch above our weight as well, and that there are opportunities for students to stay close to home and stay in the region if that's what they want to do as well when they finish their studies with us. And Nora, that sounds fantastic. It makes me, I think, want to go back and try it out myself. But thank you so much for giving us, I suppose, that insight into creative broadcast and film production. I suppose to wrap up, is there any maybe particular advice that you would give to somebody who's obviously getting ready to finalise their CAO decisions over the next couple of weeks, and if they're toying with the idea of going for creative broadcast, any particular advice or tips that you would give them?
Well, whatever program they're going for, whether it be creative broadcast or any other program in LIT or another college, if there is a level 7 and a level 8 option, go for both. Don't, so you're just covering both angles, because once you get on board into the course, it's kind of irrelevant. It's really what you put into it at that stage yourself. So I would say always go for both the level 7 and the level 8, no matter what program you're going for. If it's our course, we don't expect any, just come with an open mind, and a good book of stories is always good. I would say I always recommend to students, never stop keeping a journal and a diary and write down your stories. Write down your notes, write down what's happening to you on a daily basis. Watch lots of shorts as opposed to features, because when you come on board with us, you won't be making features, you'll be making shorts. You'll start off short, and it'll get a little bit longer as the time goes on. But the more shorts you watch, the more in tune you get to actually making shorts and developing them yourself. But I would say always keep a journal. Write down your stories. But for CAO applications, always go for the 7 and the 8, and research the course that you want to go for. Find out everything you can possibly know. Look up their social media sites. For us, it would be Creative Tech LIT. So it's at Creative Tech LIT. And if you go back into, depending on what course you're going for, always look at their social media sites. You'll see how much they put out there, how active they are. Do they have an Eventbrite site like we do? So you can see exactly, you get a little bit more of a feel for what the course is about. Also, as well, you'll find that like we have in first year, all our students set up a Twitter account, so they talk about their own work themselves. So you can look it up. You can see what the students are speaking about their own work. So it might give you a better feel for the kind of work that they do. And also as well, I would say, yeah, just looking forward to getting back on site in September. That's all I'll say. We are last semester we were on site, and we will be next semester. All going good. So.
Good stuff. And that's fantastic advice, I think, that you've offered to students there, and particularly around the level 7 and the level 8, and giving yourself those two options as well. Having seen firsthand the facilities that our creative broadcast students have available to them in LIT as well, they'll be learning on industry standard equipment and being taught by the best in the business as well. So that's something that's very important for them to know, that we have a fantastic team of lecturers that are involved in our creative broadcast programs in LIT as well. So Nora, can you show us some examples of the students' work and what they produce while they're studying in LIT?
Sure. I can show you some examples of just maybe the first year work and what students can expect to create just in the first couple of months when they join the course. So here are some examples.
I can't move. You stand in my doorway. I thought it was locked, but here you are. I tug the key in my hand, but you reach out regardless, and you take it, and you turn it, and you lock my door. And I am not mine to move anymore. It's funny. And these walls made alien hold paintings that I do not recall, yet their mounts and frames are still the same. I'm so lost in this shell. But it's your breath on my lips that take this foundation. Drawers I thought were locked lay open and bare, and now so do I. And I can't move. And I can't move. My rind, undisturbed, wraps scathed seed, but leaves no admirable pain. Wraps scathed seed, but my rind, undisturbed. Repeating without a pattern, my mind just slips, and you all come rushing back to overwhelm me. But I'll leave you all nameless, since none of you left a signature. And repeating without a pattern, my mind just slips, and you all rush back to overwhelm me. To me they laughed, and with you they smiled. Oh, I wish that they would hate you. What am I wrong to think that? I wish I would hate you. But I can't. Because there's this voice inside of me. And oh God, I wish it would let me hate you the way that it does me. You know, I can't describe the feeling that you gave to me. bears no physicality, it offers no wounds, it dare not bleed. And I wish it Anna Moya. But Anna Moya does not scar. And I am so scarred. I am scarred. But now, finally now I can heal.
One day, I think I was about 10 or 11 years old, and I saw a guy fly past me on a skateboard just outside my house. And I remember this feeling of like infatuation. Like it was something I'd never seen before, and it seemed so unique. And I kind of became obsessed with the idea of what skating was. I just wanted to know more. And then it was like my mission, then it was like I had to get a board. What I was learning from skating, and I didn't realize I was learning it at the time until later life, was the idea of trying to learn a trick where it's like, okay, I'll get close to landing it, don't get close to landing it. Fall, hit the ground, and it's over and over and over again, like thousands of tries of trying to get it the perfect way. And that perfect way, when you get it, it's only like a split second that you're in the air. It's like a split second, you do the kickflip, you catch it, and you land and you roll away, and it's like this super peaceful moment where the whole world disappears. But what I was learning from it was falling and getting back up. And it's this lesson of keep trying until you get it. And it might not feel like much, you know, it's like you could be trying for hours, days, weeks to get a certain trick that only lasts for you in real time in a couple of seconds. But the achievement that you get from it, that's the best part of it all. I went through a lot of difficult things in life at a very early age. Like, for example, I've a very tight-knit family. And I know you see other people that have really big families and everyone that sits down for like Christmas dinner. I never really had anything like that. You know, I kind of had my mom, I had my aunt, my uncle, my grandmother in America. And by the age of 25, they'd all passed away. All of a sudden, I felt this moment where it was like, okay, I feel completely alone. I feel like I'm in this bubble that no one can get through. After the death of my mother, I had one morning where I was sitting down on my bed and I was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, what am I going to do today? I didn't know what to do. And I remember I walked downstairs and I saw my board and there was like a layer of dust on it. And I was like, I remember this thought in my head, it was like, how did I let my board get dusty? and this has never happened before. And it was just a chain reaction. It's like I'd picked up the board, I dusted it all off, and I just went skating. And it was like I felt this feeling that I hadn't felt in years. Like I was flying across Sarsfield Bridge in Limerick, and I just put my headphones in, and it was like everything disappeared. Like everything that I was feeling, everything that I was worried about, all I could think about was this kind of tunnel vision of the path in front of me and the board. I think overall that's the most important lesson I ever learned from it, because I applied it to my real life. The loss of a mother and a best friend is no easy thing. So for me, there's no quit. There's no chance in hell that I'm staying in a bad place. And I think that kind of relates back to skating, is that there's no hope in hell that I'm not going to land this trick. I will fire myself down these stairs over and over again until I land it. And to an outside source looking at me going, why would you bother? Why would you keep throwing yourself down those steps over and over again? You're just hurting yourself, and for what? I don't expect you to understand, because this is down to me as an individual. This is what I want to do. This is what makes me feel good. And I think that kind of feeling is just irreplaceable.
That's great. Thanks, Nora. So Nora, I'm going to finish up for now. I'm going to say thank you so much for joining us today and for telling us so much about the Creative Broadcast and Film Production course. Thanks to everyone for joining us. If you would like more information about this course or any other courses in LIT, don't hesitate to contact us. You can message us through our social media platforms, through our website, or you can pop us an email to schools@lit.ie, and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions and to help you out. So thanks for tuning in today, and hopefully we'll speak to you all soon. Take care for now.